Right then, we're going to have a look at Outlook here. What it is, in the OCR Nationals, Cambridge Nationals course, you're expected to understand various aspects of email. So what I've done here is I've booted up my own version of Outlook. I don't really use this, but you get the idea. All my emails are here. I haven't actually got it synced, so I won't bore you with that. What we need to introduce you to are the bits and bobs that are covered in the specification. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new email. And I'm going to click on there, and if you bear with me just 1 second, it takes a little moment, and a window should pop up, which enables me. I thought I clicked on it. Let's try again, shall we? Oh, I didn't click on it. There we go. A window does pop up. And you can see that I have my various elements here. And what I want to do is just introduce these bits and bobs to you. Now, quite clearly, I can send an email to someone. I'm going to send myself one. And the key thing, obviously, is that I must spell that correctly. And that's my email address at my school. Now, the subject line is the one that I see a lot of students who they don't actually sort of do anything with this, and they leave it blank. I get a lot of emails that come through and it says no subject, which doesn't really help me. It's very important that you actually fill this in, and you need to fill it in with something that's sensible. So for example, if I put mark my work and pretending it's coming from a student, that doesn't really help me as a teacher. I'm going to go, well, what work was that? So for example, it might be unit R001 task 3. Now that's a useful subject. When I see the message that I haven't written yet, but when I see that email come in, the subject line will say that, and I'll go, okay, I know what I've got to mark. And then someone might type, Dear Mr. Phillips. This doesn't make sense because I'm sending it to myself, which is kind of weird. Please can you mark my work? Of course, this is supposed to come from one of my students, and I'm going to basically, let's say they're called Bob. I haven't got a student called Bob, but we'll call them Bob. I have a Robert, actually, have I? No, I think I'm going to have no Bobs. But to be honest with you, popping in that information every time is a little bit annoying. So what I tend to do is use something here called a signature, and I'll go to signatures, and when I get there you'll notice that there isn't anything. I'm using my Hotmail account here, but if I put in here, put new, and I'll put from Bob. Okay, you've got to kind of work with me here. This is obviously, I'm sending it to myself, but I'm pretending it's coming from someone else. I'll put press OK, and we will come in here and we'll put Bob. Bob Jones. Oh, Bob Jones. I cannot type this morning. Bob Jones, Year 10, Borden Grammar School, which Bob's not very good at spelling, and that's actually something I want to address. It's regarded as quite rude, and it says a lot about you if you can't be bothered to spell check what you put in there. And I'm going to just put OK in there, and you'll notice that nothing's happened. Let's just get rid of Bob just for a moment and go to signature from Bob and click on it, and you can see that signature automatically, or it appears without me having to type it in. So you'll find that when you go into the world of work, you'll normally have a very long signature, normally got disclaimers and stuff like that, but that's something that you can put in to speed up the way that you type emails. This area here is the actual message itself, and we refer to this as being the body of the message. And you can see here, I should be able to check for spellings. Let's do something wrong. Let's put rock there. Now I've got a spelling mistake there. So how can I deal with that? I'm guessing it would be on the review tab. I'm spelling and grammar, and you can see here now that I will change that. Fantastic. So one of the things that I try to emphasize to my students is spell check the emails that you send out. It's a bit rude, and it shows you're a bit amateurish if you don't bother to do that. This, of course, doesn't really help, because it'd be nice if Bob bothered to attach the file. Now I'm just going to find any old thing. I don't know what I've got here. Desktop, David, that's my user area, and we'll just pop a file on there. I don't know what to put on there actually. My documents, anything in there? No, there's nothing in there. Let's go for ASICT, and we will just, I don't say Camtasia, but the whole point is that this file is now attached to it. It's not his 001 task 3 work, but he's actually attached that. So this is a nicely done email. It's sent to the right person, it's got a sensible subject, it's got a nice message with a signature, and you can see that the file has actually been attached to that. So if I were then to actually, hold on a minute, where's the send button? There it is. I don't use Outlook much. If I were then to send it, that's been written correctly, and Mr. Phillips, being me, would be happy with the email that Bob Jones has just sent me, even though he's obviously attached the wrong file. But we'll ignore that for the moment. Whilst we're here, I've left one line blank, which is CC. And CC means carbon copy. Now, it might well be that you use CC, for example, let's say I'm sending a very important message to someone, but I don't know, maybe I'm sending my exam analysis for all of my IT students, and I send it to the head teacher at Borden Grammar School. I might want to copy in my line manager. He may want that document as well. The email's not really for him, but it's nice that he wants to be kept in the loop. So that's what a carbon copy means. We tend to put that in if we want to send an email out to somebody that they're to act upon it, but the carbon copy is to be sent to somebody else who needs to be kept in the loop. You can actually find that when you click on CC, there's also an option down here for BCC. Now, if I were to put in, I'll make up some addresses here, AB at Borden Grammar, and then I were to put in, I don't know, CD at Borden Grammar, I won't bother putting the whole addresses in. The way this works is this. The email is sent to DP. DP knows that AB got a copy of it, but AB is just being kept in the loop. AB knows that the email was originally sent to DP, and DP is supposed to do something about it, but he knows he's being kept in the loop. But neither of those two people would realise that CD has also had a copy of it, because BCC stands for blind carbon copy. And what it means is this person, CD, will get a copy of the email, but they would not be they would be aware the other two have had a copy, but DP and AB would not be aware that CD have a copy of it. Now, I've never used that in my life, apart from teaching you guys about how to do it. I'm struggling to come up with a reason to use BCC, to be honest with you. Answers on a postcard, maybe you could email me in with a reason for it, and I can redo this video. But I've not really come up with a reason yet for why you would blind carbon copy. It used to be the case I used to blind carbon copy myself, but then it's in my sent items, so that was a bit silly. But that's before I learned about stuff. So anyway, you can... Oh, that's interesting. The CC didn't appear because... I hadn't put a full email address in. That's probably why I didn't put ab@bordengrammar.kent.sch.uk. Before we go on this video, I think we want to do a couple more things, just cover a couple more bits and bobs for you. Email etiquette. We've been through this on a previous video, but I want to just go through it again. 1. Use an appropriate subject. Okay. 2, make sure that what you've done in your email message is clear, it's concise, it's been spell checked. It is not regarded as good practice to put in something like this. That in email etiquette and in just internet etiquette implies that you're actually shouting. Okay, so it's not a good idea to write with capital letters. Also, you'll notice here that I've attached a file called camrec. Now, it would probably be a good idea in my message here, say, because camrec is a very unusual file extension. I might want to put, please note the camrec file, so you will need Camtasia, Camtasia Studio to open it. That's good email etiquette. If you're sending a non-standard file type to someone, then maybe you want to tell them what program they would need to open it up. So, I've sent a message to DP, but chances are I'm plenty of Bob. I'm Bob now. I'm not me. I'm Bob. Okay. The thing is, I might be sending lots of messages to DP over the week, saying mark this and give me feedback on this, etc., etc. So it's probably a good idea that I don't have to type this in every time. And if I just press no to that for a moment, down here in contacts, what I'm able to do is I'm able to create a new contact. So I'm pretending I'm Bob now. I'm going to go new contact, full name, David Phillips, company name, Borden. Oh, can't even spell my own school. Borden Grammar. And you can see that I can put in phone numbers and faxes, etc. This is quite useful because you can actually sync Outlook to mobile phone apps and things like that. So for example, if you wanted to bring in data from Outlook, you can do it and you haven't got to type the phone numbers in again. But I'm not going to do all that today. The whole point is that I can bring up lots of contact details, and let's say I urgently wanted to call David Phillips, which is me, which would be a bit odd to bring in myself, but play along with me here. Then I can use Outlook to store telephone numbers for him. But of course the key one is going to be DJ Phillips. Oh, not DJ Phillips, I'm DP, aren't I? DP. Oh, that's lucky. It's already there because I've already typed it in. And I'm going to put display as, and I'm going to put at Mr. P with a capital there. So I'm now going to save and close that. And the whole point now is, if I go back to mail, is that what I'm able to do, if I click a new email, I can press 2, and you find that it's already got those details in there. So I don't have to type in the email address each time. Just double click on it, press OK, and it's actually displayed as Mr. B because I told it in my contacts to do that. And if I hover over it, you can see it brings me up, and I'm assuming that I could probably double click on that. Or I could ring them. Wow, I guess that's for instant messaging, perhaps even Skype or something like that. I don't really use Outlook. I think I might do now. It's quite exciting, isn't it? Of course, it may be the case, I'll go back to contacts, it may be the case that what I want to do is I want to, for example, send details to, and we'll put AB, we'll put Alan, but I don't know, Bale. He's Gareth's little brother. Company, Borden Grammar, display AB at Borden Grammar .kent.sch.uk. I'm just going to copy that bit to speed things up and display as Alan. Oh look, we'll just do it as Alan. And we'll press save and new. Yeah. And we'll now put Catherine, we haven't got teachers with these names, by the way, Dent. I think that's the name of something. Oh, that's interesting. Wasn't expecting that. I must have clicked on full name by mistake. That little button there. I meant to type in here Borden Grammar, and we'll put CD, Control V. See what I did there? Get rid of that, and we'll put Catherine. And we'll press save and close. Now, if I want to send an email to back as David Phillips. Well, let's just say I want to send an email to all three of these people. What I can do is create a new contact group, and I can call them teachers, and I can therefore add my members from my Outlook contacts, which are, oh, I got that wrong, never mind. But anyway, we can double click, double click, double click, press OK, and now we can save and close. Oh, Okay, I think that's because I'm at school. Oh, okay, and it's not, yeah, not being sent to the server. It's because I'm not connected to my school's connection. Anyway, the whole point being, I'm not going to do that, am I? Oops, let's press no. The whole point being is that when I create a new mail, if I were to go new email and go to, you'd actually see that I would also have the option here. It should say teachers, and if I double click on that, it means that it will send that email to that group of people. So that way I can create separate grouping lists for people that I want to put into one big group and not have to type out their emails each time or double click on their details there. I could have teachers and it would just come up with 2 teachers and it would be sent to those 3. So there is a quick, very, very quick tour of the basics of Outlook. There's lots and lots of more techniques that you can use, and I would suggest that if you want to be organised in life, you probably want to actually think about using Outlook. It's a great way, and we're going to come on to stuff about doing diary management and stuff like that. And we're going to look at that in the next few videos. Next one video, might be 2, don't know yet. But it's a really, really, really good way to organise yourself. And if you, like me, are using, say, a Hotmail, you can actually import all your Hotmail folders. This is very old, so I'm not synced up yet. But you can import all your stuff into here. So you can actually run your Hotmail or your Gmail account out of Outlook as well. And with Hotmail, I'm not too sure how the diary thing works in there. I'm not sure if it's quite as good. It's not as good as Outlook. So maybe if you're at home and you've never used Outlook before, boot it up and it'll walk you through the steps, and you can set up your Hotmail or Gmail or whatever, Yahoo Mail, whatever account it is that you're using. You can set it up inside Outlook. So before we go on to the next video, why don't you go and experiment with that?